I was fired for being too quiet at work, so I created a podcast that now has 2 million listeners. The email from HR arrived at 4:47 p.m. on a Friday. We need to discuss your performance. Please come to the conference room. I already knew what was coming. For 3 years at Meridian Etchins, I'd watched extroverts get promoted while I remained in the same entry-level position, despite consistently exceeding my targets. My last performance review had the same feedback it always did. Emma needs to be more vocal in meetings and should work on her presence in the conference room. My manager Mike and the HR director exchanged uncomfortable glances before Mike cleared his throat. Emma, you are excellent at your work, but you are just not a cultural fit. This is a collaborative environment and we need people who speak up. I nodded silently, part ironically confirming their assessment. Your quietness makes people uncomfortable. He continued, sliding the severance paperwork across the table. Some team members wonder what you are thinking. I signed papers, packed my desk into a cardboard box, and left without saying goodbye, Perta, not out of spite, but because I literally couldn't form words through the lump in my throat. That night, I sat in my apartment surrounded by job listings that all seemed to require excellent communication skills and dynamic team players. I opened my laptop and instead of applying to jobs, I recorded myself talking about what had happened that day. Not for anyone to hear, parent, just to process my thoughts. Listening back, I realized something. My voice wasn't a problem. In fact, when I spoke without interruption or pressure, I was articulate, thoughtful, and even funny. The problem was that workplaces are designed for people who process information out loud, not those of us who need time to formulate our thoughts. On a whim, I edited the recording, added some research about introversion in the workplace, and uploaded it as a podcast episode called The Koyarons. I expected maybe 5 people to listen. Within a week, it had 50,000 downloads. Comments flooded in from people sharing similar experiences, being overlooked for promotions, having ideas stolen by louder colleagues, feeling exhausted from pretending to be extroverted. I recorded a second episode, then a third. 6 months later, the Koyarons hit 1 million subscribers. I interviewed psychologists about the power of introversion, successful introverts about their strategies, and managers about how to create inclusive environments. Comptage began reaching out, asking me to consult on making their workplaces more introvert-friendly. Yesterday marked the 2-year anniversary of being fired. My past now has 2 million listeners. I've published a book that's been translated into 12 languages, and ironically, I speak at conferences about the value of quiet voices in the workplace. Last week, I received a plistid message from Mike, my former manager. I've been listening to your pastits. It's made me rethink how I evaluate performance. We missed out on your talent because we confused loudness with competence. I am sorry, I responded with a voice message rather than text, print, something I never would have done 2 years ago. Thank you for reaching out. Sometimes rejection is just redirection to where you were meant to be. The greatest irony? I now make 4 times my former salary by using my voice, but just not in the way Meridian thought I should. Being quiet doesn't mean having nothing to say. Sometimes it means you are waiting for the right moment, the right platform, and the right audience who's actually ready to listen, and when that happens, even the quietest voice can reach millions.